Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wiwik Widiawati. Now I will explain about my group material about procedure text. The definition of procedure text. Procedure text is text that explain how something works or how to use instruction or operation manuals. Example Gracia, how to use the video, the computer, the type recorder, the photocopier, and the fax. Procedure text is a text that instructs how to do a particular activity. Example Gracia receives rules for games, science experiments, and road safety rules. And then procedure text is text that deal with human behavior. Example Gracia, how to live happily and how to succeed. And then the purpose of procedure text is to tell the reader how to do or make something. The information is present in a logical sequence of events which is broken up into small sequence steps. These texts are usually written in the present tense, and then the most common example of a procedure text is a receipt. Procedure texts have three general structure is goal or aim, and then materials or equipment, and then steps or methods. First, goal or aim is this text contains about purpose of making or operating of something. Example Gracia, how to make spaghetti. And the second, materials or equipment. Materials consist of ingredients that are used in making something, but not all parts of procedure text includes materials. Sometimes a procedure text does not have material section. Example Gracia, the material to cook omelette are egg, onion, vegetable oil, etc. And then the last steps or methods. These parts contain the steps or sequence that must be done so that the objective outlined in the aim or goal to be achieved. Steps or sequences must be a sequence from the first to the last. Example Gracia, first, wash the tomatoes, onion, blah blah blah. Second, cut the onions becomes slice, blah blah blah. And this is language features of procedure text. The first, using imperative sentence patterns are common. For example, cut, do not mix, and so on. And then the second, using active verbs such as turn, pat, do, mix, etc. And then the third, using connectives or conjunction to sort of activities such as then, while, etc. Then the fourth, using adverbials or adverbs to express detail the time, place, manner accurate. For example, for 5 minutes, 2 hours, and then etc. The last, using the simple present tense. And this is example of procedure text. How to make a sandwich. Ingredients: white bread without the skin, onions, leaf lettuce, sardines fish without the sauce, tomatoes, boiled eggs, mayonnaise, and cheese. How to make a sandwich? The first, toast the bread on the teflon without put anything on the surface. Let the bread until you find it turn to be brown. The second, leave and grease by using mayonnaise as your tasty on the bread surface. And then make the content of your sandwich by combining all the materials together. Add the mayonnaise and stir until blended. Take bread that has been baked. Layer it with lettuce and cheese on the top. Also, pat the contents of the sandwich mixture on the top, then cover with sliced tomatoes and lettuce. Add the mayonnaise over the lettuce before it is covered with the last layer of your sandwich bread, and then ready to serve. And it is the second example of procedure text. How to make pencil box. Materials: box, scissors, glue, and pen maker. The procedure to make a pencil box. First, find a box and then peel off any labels. Cut new labels from clean sheets of construction paper. Glue them on your box using a glue stick. Use decorative papers, stickers, paint markers, or hand-drawn designs to embellish your box. And then fill the box and you are done. Some common forms of procedural text are directions, instructions, recipes, rules for games, manuals, and the last, agendas. Directions is how do I get somewhere? Very specific instructions including location names and titles. Formal language is required and the addition of a map will make your instructions so much easier to understand. Instructions: how do I do something? Your language must meet the needs of your audience, and you may need to include a diagram if there are complex elements to complete. Recipes is how do I cook something? Recipes are a universal text. There is a very clear expectation of the audience, so never stray from the essentials. Ingredients, methods, and a view visual are essential. Rules for games is the how do I play this? Be conscious of your audience and write in a style and language they will understand. You are almost guaranteed to record visuals in this style of writing. Manuals is the how do I operate this? Are there any warnings I need to be aware of before proceeding? Be very specific in your explanations. And the last, agendas. What are we doing? when are we doing it, and who is responsible. Okay guys, thank you for watching my video, and then wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.